Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. All right, this week we've been looking at various animals in the Bible. And I'm going to fudge a little bit on this as we go into the weekend because I'm not going to use an animal as much as I'm going to use an insect. Yes, I want to talk about bees, B-E-E. Now, bees in the Bible are interesting metaphors that get used in the Old Testament. I should, by the way, say that Deborah, who's an Old Testament judge, great stories on Deborah that I'll tell another time. Deborah is actually the word for bee in Hebrew. And so she was kind of queen bee, but wasn't really a queen. Anyway, I've lost the train of thought. Bees in the Old Testament have a couple of different functions. First of all, they're often used as metaphors for pests, for people and people groups and armies that are constantly badgering and pestering, like Israel and stuff. And so you've got passages that speak about the Amorites, I think it is, in Deuteronomy 144, that they were chasing the Israelites like bees would swarm, and gives you an idea of the intensity and severity of the attack. Bees are not friends, but bees do make honey. And honey is one of the great sweeteners in the Old Testament life and world. In fact, it's an export crop for many. You might remember there's this story about Samson who's walking along and he sees bees have made a honeycomb inside the carcass of a lion, and he scoops it out and he eats the honey as he's walking. The Psalms talk about how bees can swarm around you and bother you. Psalm 118:12 says that the psalmist's enemies swarmed around me like bees. But bees also produce that honey that cause things like Proverbs 119:103 that says that God's words are sweet. The word of the Lord is like sweeter than honey to my mouth. Now, where does this leave us? This is it. Some of those pesky, troublesome, irksome, bothersome things that are happening to you, the bees that are swarming around you, the bees that are stinging and biting you, are the same bees that make that honey that has the sweetness that gives life meaning. I'm not saying when they're stinging you, they're sweet. They're not. But I do believe the biblical metaphor holds that through difficult times, we find great strength from God, from His Word, that winds up giving us an appreciation and a joy in this life that we might never have otherwise. And so as you pull into the weekend, if you've got some pesky little bees that are nipping at you, or you've got the horrendous armies that are swarming you, you trust upon God as your deliverer, and you will find in due time that through that same mess comes a touch from God that is sweet in your life. It's the way He's able to bring victory through difficulty, bring joy out of sorrow. So go to the weekend with this. Think about it. Chew on it, if you will, because this is your video thought for the day.